All right. Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for watching my videos on my channel. I appreciate you guys so much. I have so much fun doing this. And I apologize, I haven't posted a video last week. I took some extra hours in at work. And there was not really much to talk about in the last week and a half with a week and a half to 2 weeks ago with New York sports. But the last 7, 8, 9 days have been crazy. And it's been so great and such a positive outlook for New York sports. You got James Harden, who's a Brooklyn Net. You got the Yankees re-signing DJ LeMahieu, which they definitely needed to do. And the Yankees signed Corey Kluber, a former two-time Cy Young Award winner. Hopefully he comes back. Hopefully we get the 2014 or 2018 version of Corey Kluber as a Yankee fan. But we'll see there. That's for another video. And the biggest one, the last week and a half, has been Francisco Lindor being traded to the New York Mets. Let that sink in, Met fans. Francisco Lindor is a New York Met. Him and Carlos Carrasco in a deal that sent Andres Jimenez, who's a decent player, that I think who could be a decent player, actually, by the way. Ahmed Rosario, who, let's face it, Met fans, like, you got that bum out of there. I know most fans weren't a fan of him. A few liked him. But my brother especially did not like him. But he's gone. Good riddance to Ahmed Rosario for Met fans. He's out. He went to Cleveland in the deal. And you got the best shortstop in baseball, Francisco Lindor. So I'll go all through that in this video. I know you guys are seeing something that's new in this video. But yes, I finally got my green screen up. So you guys see this behind me. You guys see the Citi Field in the background. Hopefully it looks nice from your guys' point of view. But as for me right now, I only see the green right now. But once I edit this, and not that I edit this, but once I put in the field, I'll be able to look at this and it'll look nice. But you guys can see it right now, and hopefully it looks great. And I have to give a shout out to my girlfriend Sabrina. Thanks so much for giving this to me because this is awesome. This is great. I didn't expect it from her, and I appreciate her so much for giving this to me as a Christmas gift. I finally got this put up, and I finally looked up how to get the field or whatever I want on this screen. So now I can get going with all these videos and more again. So I appreciate it again, Sabrina. But yeah, so let's go right into it. The Mets. Like I said, Francisco Lindor is a New York Met, and he's the best shortstop in baseball. What can't this guy not do? This guy has an elite bat, an elite glove, and he's an elite base runner. The guy can steal 20 to 25 bases when he wants to. The guy can score 100 runs. You know, if he's not hitting leadoff, I don't know how Luis Rojas is going to handle this lineup, but if he hits number 2, he could possibly drive in 100 runs. I don't know if he hasn't done it yet in his career, but we'll see there. I don't know yet with how the lineup's going to be constructed. But, I mean, man, you got that guy at the top of your order that can hit 30-plus home runs. He has hit 30-plus home runs. Hit for a good average. Have a great on base. Great glove. Great on the base paths. Like, he's the best shortstop in baseball. Arguably a top 5 player. Definitely a top 10 player in all the game. And that is a huge plus for the Mets. He's a superstar. He's an absolute beast. And Met fans are going to love him. And also in the deal, they got Carlos Carrasco, who's a very underrated starter. When this guy is healthy, this guy's went through injuries himself, shoulder, arm, had cancer, had leukemia. And this guy, when he's healthy, though, like, he's a good dude. He is a top 15 to 20 starter. That is huge. The Mets need another arm, and I think this move is the reason why the Mets will make the playoffs. They go from a borderline playoff team to a playoff team. It's playoffs or bust right now, honestly. Let's face it. For all you Met fans out there, it's playoffs or bust. You don't make the playoffs this year, it's an abject failure. So, it's playoffs or bust. We'll see what happens. But you guys got a roster now. You guys got a squad. You got DeGrom. Carrasco who's a solid 2-3 guy. If Noah Syndergaard can come back or sometime this year and be the old Noah Syndergaard, that's another plus. You get Marcus Stroman for a full season finally. And you have David Peterson, I think, is going to be the number 5 starter. But if he could just be an innings eater, that's all that matters for the Mets. You have a rotation. That's easily the top 10 rotation in baseball. It's could be top 5. We'll see what happens. Like I said, how Stroman pitches for a full season with the Mets, and if Thor comes back healthy and is the old version of himself. But it's something to look forward to. And now with the lineup, you had Francisco Lindor with a lineup with Pete Alonso, Michael Conforto, Jeff McNeil. That's pretty good right there. That's a pretty good top of the line lineup right there. And you also get James McCann that the Mets signed in free agency from the White Sox earlier this offseason. He was one of the first moves around Thanksgiving time. Look, man, he's a decent catcher. I'm a fan of his. I could see him be. He has a small sample size. It's been a year and a half. He had a very good year and a half with the White Sox. Very impressive. But we'll see what happens with him. He is an upgrade from Wilson Ramos. He's an upgrade from Wilson Ramos, which is if you upgrade at any position on the field, that's a plus for your franchise. So with Wilson Ramos, the guy couldn't field a lick behind the plate. It was a horrible framer, couldn't block balls, didn't really have a good arm. He was probably one of the worst fielding catchers in baseball. You upgrade that with James McCann. On top of that, if he could be a little bit better of a bat than Ramos was, because Ramos didn't have a terrible bat, but if he could be a little bit better of a hitter, that helps you too. He hit 18 home runs and 7 home runs the last year and a half, 7 home runs in a COVID season. But he did slug .560 for a catcher. But again, it was a very small sample size for James McCann. But if he could do what he did in 2019 for a full season, Met fans, I think you guys will take that in a heartbeat. But that's what you got to hope for. But I also could see him being the older James McCann, where he was a backup catcher, didn't really hit that well. I can see that too because he has a big strikeout rate. He strikes out like 27, 28% of the time. League average is like 25, 24-ish. If he could cut his strikeouts down, get his walks up a little bit, I think that can help him out a lot, especially in this lineup now. You get a full season where I think he's in a little bit better of a lineup, even though the White Sox have a lineup now. But him getting more playing time, because he was splitting time with Yasmani Grandal last year, that could help. So we'll see what happens with James McCann. But like I said, it's a good signing. So it's an upgrade for the Mets. They upgraded catcher, which they needed to do. But yeah, I mean, the Mets have a good shot of winning the National League East. They really do. If everybody could stay healthy, I think this team is the favorite to win the National League East. I'm not going to count out. Obviously, you still got to worry about the Braves with Freddie Freeman and Ronald Acuna and their rotation. They have a good lineup. You also have to. I still would keep an eye on the Nationals, the 2019 World Champions. Corbin, Strasburg, Scherzer. Those three are the top three. Like that's one of the best top three in baseball. They showed it a year and a half ago in the World Series and the playoffs. I would keep out on them. I know they had a down year last year in 2020. Again, it was a shortened season, but they did lose Anthony Rendon, which was a killer. Their stud third baseman. But Juan Soto, man, is an absolute monster. He's the best player on that team. The dude, I love seeing that dude hit. He can rake. He is one of the best hitters in the game. He's definitely a top 10 player too. You have him and Trey Turner, who's one of the top shortstops in the game. You get them with Kyle Schwarber and Josh Bell coming off of down years. The Nationals signed them for Flyers. Hopefully they can give Juan Soto and Trey Turner protection in that lineup. But we'll see there. But they're no joke. I would not sleep on those two teams if I was the Mets. But because the National League East is loaded, the Marlins and the Phillies aren't bad either. They're losing a couple of guys this year to free agency, I believe. So possibly. But the Mets on paper right now, I think they're better than all those 4 teams. I really think so. They should win this division. But we'll see what happens. I think that the Mets need another bullpen arm. Brad Hand, I heard he was in agreement from I think Ken Rosenthal retweeted that. But then he backed against what he tweeted because I guess the deal wasn't got through yet, and the Mets didn't agree on a deal with Brad Hand. They just were in talks on him. So we'll see what happens now. I want the Yankees to get Brad Hand, but he's been in talks with the Mets so far, as of what I've heard. But we'll see what happens. Brad Hand would be a great piece. The Mets need a lefty arm in that pen to help out Edwin Diaz, Jarius Familia, Dellin Betances, and Seth Lugo. You get him as the fifth piece as a lefty. That's a pretty damn good bullpen you got there for the Mets. And the Mets have been known for their bullpen struggles the last several seasons, like mightily struggling with their bullpen. So we'll see what happens. It should be fun. It's always good to know when your team is going to be a playoff contender. As a Yankee fan, I get to see that and experience it every year, them being a playoff contender. So I can tell you guys as Met fans, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun season. Hopefully everything gets back to normal. We can get fans in the damn ballparks. It would be love to go to a Yankee game, or even I just love to go to a baseball game in general. Any baseball game, even basketball. Like, I just want to go to a game, man. Hopefully things get better. Hopefully everyone's staying positive. I know it's rough right now, but me sending out these videos gets me through the rough times and everything, and hopefully it does with you guys too. Hopefully I'm giving you guys a healthy outlet in your lives and getting away from all the negative stuff relating to COVID. But thanks for watching. And it's gonna be a fun season. The Yankees and Mets rivalry hopefully is adds a little more spice with the Mets being good. So I'm sure, especially with the fan bases, it's gonna be a lot of fun. So let's stay tuned. Can't wait for baseball seasons. Right now it's January 17th. Pitchers and catchers report in a month. So can't wait for actual baseball to happen in about 2 months. And it's going to be fun. So I can't wait. Thanks, guys, for watching. My next video will be on the Brooklyn Nets. I got to get my take on the James Harden trade and the big three that they're developing there for NBA championship. So it's a lot of fun in the New York sports world the last week and a half. I got a lot of stuff to cover, and I can't wait to do it. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video.